Have you ever wondered if your habits, like daily masturbation, might be affecting more than just your physical health? Many of us have questions about how certain behaviors fit into our lives, whether they're a source of comfort or, perhaps, something more complex. If you've ever felt uncertain or confused about the impact of these habits on your well-being, this video is for you. In this discussion, we'll explore the physical, psychological, and relational effects of frequent masturbation, offering insights from the wisdom of an experienced doctor. Whether you're seeking understanding, reassurance, or practical advice, stay with us until the end. You'll gain clarity on how to approach this topic in a healthy, balanced way and discover actionable steps to maintain a positive relationship with yourself and others. Let's dive in and uncover what truly matters for your well-being. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video. You can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. Let's explore the concept of masturbation in greater detail, shedding light on why it plays such a significant role in human life. At its core, masturbation is a natural and universal activity. It's something most people will engage in at some point, regardless of age, gender, or background. Yet, despite its ubiquity, masturbation remains a topic often shrouded in mystery and misunderstandings. Imagine an individual, perhaps a man in his late 50s, reflecting on his younger years and recalling how he first stumbled upon this behavior. Without guidance or open conversations, societal taboos and stigmas left him feeling uncertain. Was it normal? Was it something to be ashamed of? Even after many years, he's still left with unanswered questions. Does this scenario resonate with you? Let's address those doubts head-on. Masturbation is a natural way to explore and connect with your body, providing a sense of relief from tension and promoting emotional well-being. It's a safe activity, free from the risks associated with sexual intercourse, such as sexually transmitted infections, STIs, and unintended pregnancies. Both men and women engage in this behavior, though the reasons and frequency vary depending on personal circumstances, emotional state, and life stage. For some, it serves as a stress-relieving practice after a long and demanding day. For others, it offers a means of self-connection, especially during times when physical intimacy with a partner may not be feasible. It's crucial to understand that masturbation is not inherently good or bad. Its impact largely depends on how it fits into your life. However, if it becomes a frequent, daily habit, concerns may begin to emerge. Is it still healthy? Could there be unintended consequences? If so, how can they be addressed? As a wise older doctor might say, understanding your body is the first step toward taking care of it. The key is not to judge yourself, but to approach your habits with curiosity and reflection. So, whether you're engaging in this activity occasionally or it has become a regular part of your routine, the focus should always be on maintaining balance. After all, as with most aspects of life, too much of something good can sometimes lead to challenges. Now that we've laid the foundation by understanding the basics, let's dive deeper into how frequent masturbation can impact your body physically. You might be wondering, if it's such a natural and normal activity, could there be risks involved? Like many things in life, moderation is key. Let's start by exploring the benefits because there are several. Masturbation can offer numerous physical benefits when practiced in a balanced manner. For example, it can promote improved sleep. The release of hormones like dopamine and oxytocin following orgasm can foster a sense of relaxation, making it easier to drift off into restful sleep. It's also a powerful stress reliever, allowing the body to release accumulated tension from daily stressors. For men, it promotes healthy blood flow, which is essential for maintaining sexual function and supporting a healthy prostate. For women, masturbation can strengthen the pelvic floor muscles, which are critical for overall reproductive health. In comparison to other forms of sexual activity, masturbation remains a safe practice that doesn't come with the risks of STIs or unintended pregnancies. However, what happens when masturbation becomes excessive? This is where some concerns can arise. Let me share a real-life story from my practice. A gentleman in his 60s came to me complaining of discomfort and soreness, unsure of the cause. After a detailed examination, we discovered that frequent masturbation, especially without adequate lubrication, had led to skin irritation, a common issue that can be easily addressed through proper care and moderation. Another concern related to excessive masturbation is desensitization. Repeated and frequent stimulation can lead to reduced sensitivity over time, potentially diminishing pleasure during other forms of sexual activity. However, it's important to note that this isn't a permanent condition. Often, reducing frequency and taking breaks can help restore sensitivity. Additionally, there's the question of energy levels. While orgasm typically leaves people feeling relaxed and satisfied, frequent ejaculation, especially for men, can lead to temporary fatigue. The body requires time to replenish energy stores, and overdoing it may leave you feeling drained rather than rejuvenated. However, the good news is that these physical effects are generally reversible. Our bodies are incredibly resilient and capable of healing and adapting when given the chance. If you notice discomfort, fatigue, or other signs of imbalance, simply scaling back and allowing your body the rest it needs can often be enough to restore equilibrium. Think of your body as an instrument, much like a finely tuned piano or guitar. It requires balance, care, and attention to stay in tune. When you listen to your body, it will guide you, offering signs that help maintain your overall well-being. Having addressed the physical aspects, let's now delve into the psychological impacts of daily masturbation. This is a more intricate area because our minds are deeply connected to our habits and emotions. Allow me to introduce you to Robert, a man in his late 50s, whose story sheds light on the psychological complexities at play. After retiring, Robert suddenly found himself with a wealth of free time. Initially, he turned to masturbation occasionally as a means of unwinding and relaxing. However, as the weeks turned into months, he began to notice a troubling pattern. Each time he felt bored, stressed, or even a little lonely, he would use this habit to fill the emotional void. Over time, he realized that his relationship with masturbation shifted from one of enjoyment to one of reliance. This is where the psychological impacts begin to surface. Emotional dependency on masturbation, as Robert experienced, often results in a cycle of reliance that can detrimentally affect your overall sense of well-being. Many individuals, like Robert, may feel guilt or shame after engaging in this habit, which can further contribute to a negative self-image and diminish their self-esteem. It's crucial to recognize whether these feelings are arising within you. The key lies in understanding whether your behavior is driven by emotional needs or if it's simply an expression of your natural desires. Underlying emotions such as boredom, stress, or loneliness play a significant role in this dynamic. When these emotions fuel the habit, it becomes essential to explore healthier ways to cope. Activities like exercise, mindfulness practices, or spending quality time with loved ones can often provide the emotional relief that masturbation might be unintentionally filling. Recognizing these triggers and addressing the root causes can help you regain a sense of control over your habits and emotions. Ultimately, your mental health holds just as much significance as your physical health. Striving for balance and exploring healthier methods to meet your emotional needs can lead to a more fulfilling and harmonious life. Let's expand on these insights and examine how daily masturbation might impact your relationships, as this is another important dimension to consider. Often, individuals may become so engrossed in their habits that they begin relying on them rather than genuinely enjoying them. This brings us to the first key psychological impact: stress. At its core, masturbation can serve as a healthy outlet for stress relief and self-connection. However, when it transforms into the go-to solution for every moment of stress, anxiety, or boredom, it may subtly evolve into an unhealthy dependency, much like reaching for a crutch rather than learning to stand on your own. Instead of addressing the root causes of stress, individuals may find themselves using masturbation as a temporary fix, leaving deeper, underlying issues untouched. Another significant psychological impact is shame and guilt. Let's be honest. Societal taboos and cultural norms surrounding masturbation can contribute to feelings of embarrassment or shame. This is particularly common among older adults, who may have grown up in times when these topics were seldom discussed. However, the truth is this: shame often does far more harm than good. Masturbation is a natural and normal part of human biology, and embracing this truth can help alleviate feelings of guilt. Reframing your perspective on masturbation as a normal part of your sexuality and biology fosters self-acceptance and can reduce unnecessary guilt. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. By exploring these psychological aspects, we can gain a deeper understanding of how to build healthier relationships with ourselves and others. Achieving balance, recognizing underlying emotional triggers, and developing more positive coping mechanisms can lead to improved mental well-being and greater fulfillment in life. Let's take a deeper look at the issue of pornography and the unrealistic expectations it can foster. For many individuals, excessive masturbation is often tied to a reliance on pornography. This dependence can distort one's perceptions of intimacy, making real-life relationships feel less satisfying because they don't match the idealized and exaggerated scenarios portrayed online. In contrast, genuine intimacy is built on trust, vulnerability, and emotional connection, qualities that are difficult, if not impossible, to replicate in the artificial, hyper-realistic world of pornography. Over time, this disconnect between expectations and reality can lead to feelings of inadequacy, loneliness, and diminished confidence in personal relationships. So, how can we approach this with a healthier mindset? The key lies in self-awareness. Ask yourself, am I engaging in this habit because I truly want to, or because I feel compelled to? Reflect on whether this habit is genuinely enhancing your life, or if it is taking away from your sense of fulfillment and well-being. If it feels more like a crutch or a means of escaping discomfort, it might be time to explore healthier ways of managing stress, such as mindfulness, engaging in hobbies, or deepening social connections. As the wise doctor often reminds us, our habits shape our minds just as much as our minds shape our habits. Therefore, we should strive to choose habits that foster clarity and peace, creating space for healthier, more meaningful connections with ourselves and others. Now, let's shift our focus to the social and relational impacts of daily masturbation. Although this habit is deeply personal, it doesn't occur in isolation. It can have significant effects on how we connect with others. Let me introduce you to Paul, a man in his early 60s, who always valued his relationships, especially the deep bond he shared with his partner of over 30 years. However, Paul began to notice subtle shifts in his relationship dynamics. Over time, his solitary habits started replacing the intimacy he once experienced with his wife. Instead of talking, laughing, and enjoying quality moments together, he often found himself retreating into his world. This wasn't a conscious decision, but the outcome was clear. A growing emotional distance began to emerge between them. Paul's story brings us to the first key issue: isolation. When masturbation becomes a priority over time spent with loved ones, it often leads to feelings of loneliness and disconnection. While the habit itself isn't inherently harmful, it may be signaling deeper issues, such as boredom, a lack of connection, or unresolved emotions that need attention. The second impact is the erosion of intimacy in relationships. For couples, intimacy is far more than physical. It is a deeply emotional bond. When masturbation begins to serve as a substitute for this connection, partners may feel neglected or emotionally distant. Over time, this erosion of trust and satisfaction can create significant strain within the relationship, leaving both partners feeling unfulfilled and disconnected. Another challenge often arises from communication breakdowns. Discussing personal habits like masturbation can feel awkward or even taboo, especially in long-term relationships where unspoken boundaries have already been established. However, avoiding these conversations can lead to misunderstandings and resentment. For example, one partner may feel hurt or insecure if they sense that the other is pulling away, even if it's unintentional. This is where open, non-judgmental communication becomes crucial. Starting with gentle conversations, rooted in curiosity and love, allows couples to explore each other's needs and find ways to reignite the intimacy that once bound them. Even small gestures, such as spending more time together or planning shared activities, can be powerful in rebuilding that connection. For those who are single, reflecting on whether these habits are creating barriers to socializing or forming deeper connections is equally important. Could this time be better spent fostering friendships, strengthening family relationships, or exploring new interests? Often, loneliness isn't solved by retreating further, but by reaching out and engaging with others. As the wise doctor might say, relationships thrive on connection, not perfection. If you find yourself withdrawing, taking small steps to rebuild those bridges can lead to more meaningful, fulfilling social connections. Having examined the social and relational impacts, let's now turn our attention to recognizing when these habits might cross the line from a healthy practice to something more problematic. Awareness is the first step toward creating balance in any area of life. Let me share the story of David, a 58-year-old man who found himself stuck in a cycle he couldn't seem to break. At first, David only noticed that he was spending more time alone. Gradually, he realized that his habits were consuming more of his time, causing him to skip hobbies, avoid social events, and even delay important work projects. What began as a seemingly harmless practice had started interfering with his responsibilities, goals, and relationships. David knew something needed to change, but he didn't know where to start. David's story highlights the first red flag: when habits begin interfering with daily responsibilities. If you find yourself neglecting work, family commitments, or personal goals due to these habits, it's worth taking a closer look. Healthy habits should enhance your life, not detract from it. The second red flag is prioritizing masturbation over meaningful relationships or activities. If you find yourself turning down time with loved ones or missing out on activities that once brought you joy, this could be an indicator that the habit is becoming more isolating than fulfilling. Another crucial sign is the loss of control. Ask yourself, do you feel unable to reduce the frequency of the habit even though you genuinely wish to? A sense of feeling stuck or powerless can be a red flag that indicates a deeper issue, such as unresolved emotional struggles or underlying dependency. Finally, there's the emotional toll. If your habits are accompanied by feelings of shame, guilt, or distress, it's important to take these emotions seriously. These feelings can weigh heavily on your self-esteem and overall mental well-being, creating a cycle of negativity that's difficult to break free from. The good news is that recognizing these signs is a powerful first step in the right direction. If any of this resonates with you, seeking guidance from a counselor, therapist, or trusted medical professional can provide valuable support. There's no shame in asking for help. It's a sign of strength and self-awareness. As the wise doctor often reminds us, when we feel out of balance, it's a call to realign our habits with the life we truly want to lead. Let's now take a closer look at the perspective of an older, wise male doctor. Someone who has spent decades guiding individuals through conversations like these with care, empathy, and understanding. The wisdom of a seasoned professional who has observed the impacts of these habits over many years can offer valuable clarity, reassurance, and insights that go beyond surface-level judgments. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Dr. James, a seasoned physician now in his late 60s, often says the act of masturbation itself isn't inherently the issue. It's the context and approach that matter most. He emphasizes that moderate, intentional engagement with this behavior is natural and harmless. However, when masturbation becomes compulsive or intertwined with unhealthy patterns, like excessive reliance on pornography, it can contribute to difficulties in various aspects of life. One of the key points Dr. James frequently discusses is the concept of moderation. He often uses an analogy. Think of it like enjoying your favorite dessert. A slice here and there brings joy and satisfaction, but if you were to consume the entire cake daily, it would likely leave you feeling physically and emotionally unwell. Balance, he emphasizes, allows you to derive the benefits without the negative consequences. Dr. James also works to dispel many of the myths surrounding masturbation, especially those related to aging. Some individuals worry that frequent masturbation might lead to a loss of vitality and energy, or even affect their lifespan. However, Dr. James reassures them that the body is incredibly adaptable. Masturbation, whether it happens daily or less frequently, won't deplete your life energy or cause long-term harm if approached with balance. The key is maintaining a level of awareness about how this behavior fits into your overall lifestyle. Another significant area Dr. James focuses on is the relationship between masturbation and pornography. He explains that excessive consumption of pornography can distort expectations of intimacy, often setting unrealistic standards that, in turn, affect real-life relationships. Dr. James encourages individuals to reflect on their usage patterns and ask themselves whether they are truly connecting with what intimacy means to them on a deeper level. If they find that pornography is becoming a crutch or leading to dissatisfaction, he advises taking a step back and exploring other ways to foster genuine connection and intimacy. Dr. James also emphasizes the importance of taking breaks to restore sensitivity. Over time, constant stimulation from masturbation can lead to a temporary loss of sensitivity, but this is often reversible. The body responds well to rest, and he suggests that if you notice your pleasure or satisfaction diminishing, taking a few days or weeks away can make a noticeable difference. He sees this as an opportunity, not a restriction, to ensure that the experience remains enjoyable and fulfilling. Finally, Dr. James encourages patients to reflect on their habits and align them with their core values. Healthy habits are not just about the physical. They are deeply connected to overall well-being. Ask yourself if this habit is serving your life. If not, don't hesitate to seek support or make changes. Dr. James believes that when masturbation is approached with awareness, self-reflection, and balance, it can be a healthy and natural part of self-care. Now that we've explored the insights from an expert, let's shift our focus to practical steps you can take to find balance and establish healthier habits in your life. Like any other habit, masturbation should contribute positively to your overall well-being, rather than dominating it. So, how can you create that balance? Let me share the story of John, a man in his late 60s, who decided to make some meaningful changes. For years, John felt trapped in a routine where his habits began to overshadow other important aspects of his life. It wasn't that he disliked the habit, it was that it left him feeling drained, both physically and emotionally. One day, he made a decision. I'm not giving this up, but I'm going to make it a smaller part of my life. John took the first step by setting clear boundaries. He began tracking how often he engaged in this behavior and made a conscious effort to reduce the frequency. His approach wasn't about denying himself, but about ensuring that this habit didn't consume too much of his time or energy. By doing so, John began to feel more in control and balanced, rather than feeling like his habits controlled him. Next, John explored alternative activities that brought fulfillment. He reignited hobbies he had set aside for years: gardening, woodworking, and daily walks in the park. These activities gave him a renewed sense of purpose and satisfaction. Physical activity, in particular, became a powerful tool for managing stress and combating boredom. Another significant change John made was focusing on real connections with others. He reconnected with old friends, spent more time with his grandchildren, and even planned date nights with his wife. By prioritizing relationships, John rediscovered the joy of shared intimacy and meaningful connections. He realized that these moments brought a level of fulfillment that no solitary activity could replace. John also educated himself about sexual health and mindfulness. He came to understand that taking breaks from masturbation could restore sensitivity and bring a renewed sense of pleasure. He didn't view this as a restriction, but rather as a way to maintain freshness and balance. Through these efforts, John learned that healthy habits are about more than the physical. They are about cultivating balance and self-awareness. He recognized that what matters most is aligning his behaviors with his values and overall well-being. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Here's the key takeaway. Achieving balance doesn't mean eradicating a habit. Instead, it's about integrating that habit into a life that feels full, diverse, and meaningful. Just as John took small, deliberate steps to craft a routine that worked for him, you too can begin making gradual changes that lead to a healthier balance. This might involve setting boundaries, exploring new hobbies, or deepening your connections with others. Though these actions may seem small at first, they have the potential to transform your life in significant and lasting ways, bringing greater peace and fulfillment. As the wise doctor often reminds us, life is truly about harmony. When your habits align with your values, they enhance your overall well-being and joy rather than diminish it. The pursuit of balance isn't about eliminating things. It's about creating space for what truly matters. We've covered a lot today, and I want to take a moment to sincerely thank you for being part of this conversation. It's not always easy to discuss personal topics like masturbation, but by understanding these habits and approaching them with intention, you are taking meaningful steps toward living a healthier and more balanced life. Let's revisit some key points. Masturbation is a natural and normal part of human sexuality. It offers various physical and psychological benefits, such as stress reduction, improved sleep, and promoting healthy sexual function. However, like any habit, it's crucial to approach it with mindfulness and balance. When practiced in moderation and with awareness, it can become a positive aspect of your self-care routine. But when it begins to interfere with your daily responsibilities, relationships, or emotional well-being, it's important to reflect on your relationship with it and make necessary adjustments. Recognizing the signs of imbalance, whether it's dependency, isolation, or feelings of guilt, isn't about self-criticism. It's about understanding where you currently stand and deciding what changes you'd like to make moving forward. Self-awareness is key, And acknowledging these areas of imbalance allows you to take control of your life in a way that fosters growth and peace. You've also learned the importance of integrating this habit into a life that is rich and varied. By setting healthy limits, exploring new interests, and prioritizing genuine connections with others, you can ensure that your habits serve you rather than dominate or control you. And remember, there's no shame in seeking guidance or support if you feel overwhelmed. Reaching out for help is a courageous and empowering step toward living with intention and creating a balanced, fulfilling life. It's about embracing your journey, learning from it, and stepping into a space where your habits enhance your well-being rather than hinder it. Thank you for taking the time to explore and engage with the content above. We've covered a range of topics focused on spiritual encouragement, life challenges, personal growth, and practical wisdom. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What's one key insight or lesson you've gained so far that you plan to bring into your life? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this video helpful, please leave your comments, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay connected with more uplifting and inspiring content. Thank you for your continued support.